What a wonderful day. Welcome back. Today's topic is the routine. The routine. Now, everyone has to know what a routine is, even if you may not be sure of the meaning. Why? Because it's doing the same thing again and again and again, where it just becomes automatic. And man, when I think about routines, I think of programs, right? So I know computers very well. And when I think about computers, I think of programs. And a program is essentially a set of instructions that you give the machine, and when the machine executes those instructions, it does it again and again and again. And the great thing about giving instructions to machines is they don't complain because they don't want to do it. They don't think about it not being a good use of their time. They do exactly what you tell them to do, right? They're like robots. And the great thing about a robot is it's super efficient at doing mundane, boring tasks. But us, humans, we don't work the same way. We essentially have a breaking point where we can do the same thing over and over and over again until we can't do it anymore. And that usually elicits the emotional response. And if you're a parent with kids, you've already heard this when the kids complain about stuff that they had to do or chores or anything like that. If you're an adult and you don't have kids, but you have colleagues and coworkers, I'm sure you've heard them complain about the same things or some of the struggles they're actually dealing with. So that's what a routine can create. It can create resistance because the person that's doing the routine does not feel it's the best use of their time. And so the importance of routines and understanding them is when to break them. And today's such an awesome day for me because I had a routine in which I had to fill the front left tire of my MR2 every single week, sometimes twice a week, because there was a leak. And you're probably thinking, well, why did you fill the tire if there was a leak? Well, I didn't want to get a flat when I drove the car. But I could not locate the source of the leak. And every time I took the car to the mechanic, I asked, hey, can you see if there's any leak or if you can find the source of the leak? They could not find anything. So I just had to do it, and it's not something I felt I wanted to do, but if I didn't want to have a flat tire, I had to make sure I kept filling the tires with air. So had to do this for about 2 or 3 months, and then finally this week, after I filled the tire on a cold night, I heard a hissing sound. And it wasn't a snake, because it's too cold for snakes, but I heard a hissing sound coming from the tire. So I put my ear closer, tried to identify and diagnose where it was coming from. It was coming from the valve stem. Now, the valve stem is where you actually put air in the tire. So I never would have thought that would actually have been the issue, but I heard the air coming out, and even after I put the cap on the valve stem, I could still hear that hissing sound. So I got a few estimates and ended up dropping the car off at Costco. I had to leave it there for a few hours. But they were able to identify the source of the issue and they replaced the valve stem. Now, the beautiful thing about it all is I don't have to fill the tires once or twice a week anymore. And that was something that was wasting my time. I don't have to do that anymore. And then the other beautiful thing is that when I got the bill back, it only cost me $10.99. I was able to remove that problem, that challenge that made me create a routine that was wasting my time, and it only didn't cost me a few hours of my time, cost a few hours of someone else's time, and it only cost me $10.99. So I consider that an awesome trade, a valuable deal on part of myself because it's something I don't have to worry about anymore, it's something I don't have to do anymore. So the question I have for you is, if you have any routine that's going on in your life, can you identify if it is wasting your time? Could you be doing something that's more purposeful or better suited for your skills and for your talents? And if you can, how can you get that routine off your plate? Now, first thing you got to do is think about it because it won't necessarily come to you just like that. But when you find the solution and you put that in place, I guarantee you're going to feel better about it. So, first thing to do for today, identify what it is you feel that is not the best use of your time and what you could do to replace that with something that could be a better use of your time. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to necessarily happen right away, but you start with the small stuff and you keep building and building and building, and if you've identified something bigger that's going on in your life that needs a change, that will come. So Hope you enjoyed the message today, and hopefully you stay tuned and catch one for tomorrow. All right, bye.